Your hands shake before the presentation. Your throat tightens when you need to speak. Your mind floods with worst-case scenarios the moment pressure arrives. You tell yourself it's just nerves, that everyone feels this way. But here's the truth. Your body is lying to you, and you're letting it win. Fear isn't some mysterious force. It's a biological hijacking. Your amygdala screams. Your cortisol spikes. Your rational mind shuts down. And you freeze. Every single time. Miyamoto Musashi fought over 60 duels to the death. Not one loss. Not once did he freeze. Not because he was fearless, but because he understood something modern men have forgotten. Fear is a switch, and he knew exactly how to turn it off. In 9 seconds. Here's the biological lie. Your body thinks every stressful moment is a saber-toothed tiger. Your sympathetic nervous system activates. Heart rate spikes. Blood rushes to your limbs. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that thinks clearly, goes offline. This was useful 10,000 years ago. Today, it makes you look weak in a job interview. Your body betrays you because it's running ancient software in a modern world. The problem isn't fear itself. It's that you never trained the off switch. Your sympathetic nervous system remains on high alert because you never learned to activate its counterbalance, the parasympathetic response. Musashi called fear confusion, not courage, not bravery, confusion. In the Book of 5 Rings, he wrote that the warrior who enters battle with a disturbed mind has already lost. Fear clouds perception. It creates hesitation, and hesitation creates death. Or in your case, failure. He introduced a concept called Heijoshin, everyday mind. The same mind you use to eat breakfast is the mind you use to face death. No difference, no elevation, no panic, just presence. Most men never develop this because they avoid discomfort entirely. They live in climate-controlled rooms. They order food with an app. They never put themselves in situations where their nervous system has to adapt. Modern comfort creates cowards. Your brain never learns to regulate because it never faces real pressure. You scroll when you're bored. You eat when you're anxious. You distract when you're uncomfortable. So when real stakes arrive, your system has no reference point. It defaults to panic. The samurai didn't have this problem. They trained in cold rivers. They meditated in graveyards. They sat with discomfort until their bodies stopped reacting. They built the biological capacity to stay calm under threat. You haven't. And that's why a boardroom feels like a battlefield. But Musashi didn't just train physically. He understood the nervous system before neuroscience existed. He knew that breath controls state, that gaze controls focus, that posture controls confidence. He turned his body into a weapon against fear itself. You can do the same. But first, you need to understand what he did when facing impossible odds. Musashi's most dangerous strategy wasn't his sword. It was his mind. In the Book of 5 Rings, Fire Scroll, he describes a technique called becoming the enemy. Most warriors obsess over their own technique, their stance, their timing, their fear. Musashi did the opposite. He entered his opponent's head before the duel even began. Picture this: Kyoto, 1604. Musashi had already defeated 2 masters of the Yoshioka school in separate duels. Seijuro, who lost his arm. Denshichiro, who was killed. The clan's honor was shattered. Their final move was desperate. They assembled 72 men, archers, musketeers, swordsmen, all waiting at Ichijoji Temple under the Sagarematsu pine tree. Their plan was simple: surround Musashi, kill him, restore the school's reputation. But Musashi didn't show up at the agreed time. He had already studied them, their desperation, their need for revenge, their predictable formation. He knew they would prepare an ambush, so he arrived hours early. Not to prepare, to attack. He hid in the darkness, watched them assemble, identified the target. Mata Shichiro, the 12-year-old heir leading the force, the symbol of their lineage, the psychological center. Musashi didn't wait for honor. He didn't announce himself. He struck from concealment. Mata Shichiro fell immediately. Chaos erupted. The formation collapsed. Panic spread. Musashi moved through the confusion like a ghost. He killed dozens before disappearing into the night, not because he was the better swordsman, because he understood the system. He didn't fight 72 men. He destroyed their morale, their structure, their will. This is becoming the enemy. It's not about reading body language. It's about predicting the system. Musashi didn't fight individuals. He dismantled organizations. He anticipated their strategy before they executed it. He studied their psychology, their desperation, their predictable response to humiliation, and he exploited it without hesitation. Modern application: stop obsessing over how you feel in the situation. Start studying the situation itself. Job interview? Stop worrying about your performance. Study the company's pain points. What problem are they desperately trying to solve? What keeps the hiring manager awake at night? Become them. Then position yourself as the solution. Difficult negotiation? Stop rehearsing your anxiety. Map their constraints, their fears, their incentives. What do they need to protect? What are they willing to sacrifice? When you understand their internal logic, you stop reacting. You start directing. Musashi won 60 duels because he never fought himself. He fought the enemy. You lose daily battles because you fight yourself. Your doubts, your fears, your insecurities. Becoming the enemy isn't just a sword technique. It's a cognitive redirect. The moment your attention shifts outward, fear loses oxygen. It suffocates, and you become ice cold. Musashi discovered something modern neuroscience is only now confirming. You can hack fear in 9 seconds, not through willpower, through biology. The weapon is tactical breathing. The samurai called it tanden breathing, after the lower abdomen energy center. Today, Navy SEALs use the same technique under a different name: box breathing. Here's how it works. When you breathe shallow, chest-based breaths, you activate your sympathetic nervous system. Fight or flight. Cortisol floods. Heart rate spikes. You panic. But when you breathe deep into your lower abdomen, you stimulate the vagus nerve. This nerve is the main component of your parasympathetic nervous system. The off switch. Vagal stimulation signals safety to your brain. It directly inhibits the sympathetic response. Your heart rate drops. Blood pressure lowers. The adrenaline spike halts. Not metaphorically, biologically. This isn't meditation. This is a physiological override that happens in seconds. The protocol is simple. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Let your belly expand, not your chest. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Do this twice. 9 seconds total. Your hands will steady. Your mind will clear. Your body will shift from panic to operational. But breath alone isn't enough. Musashi combined it with a concept called Mitsuke, the gaze. Most men look at the threat, the angry boss, the judgmental crowd, the competitor. Musashi taught his students to look through, not at. When you focus on a single point while maintaining peripheral awareness, your visual cortex engages differently. It prevents tunnel vision. And tunnel vision is what happens when fear takes over. You fixate. You narrow. You miss everything else. Look through the enemy, not at him. See the whole field. This keeps your nervous system from collapsing into hypervigilance. It maintains what Musashi called the distant view. You're present, but not consumed. Aware, but not reactive. Your gaze becomes a tool for nervous system regulation. Now combine this with detachment from outcome. The third pillar. Most men fail because they're obsessed with results. Winning, losing, looking good, looking weak. This attachment creates anxiety. Because you're trying to control what you cannot control. Musashi wrote in the Dokudo, "Do not seek pleasure for its own sake." This wasn't asceticism. It was strategic detachment. When you care too much about the outcome, your technique suffers. Your hand tightens on the sword. Your movements become rigid. You second-guess. But when you detach, when you focus only on executing the strategy, precision returns. You stop trying to force victory. You simply follow the opening when it appears. Modern translation? Stop caring if they like you. Stop obsessing over whether you get the promotion. Stop fearing rejection. Focus on the execution, the preparation, the strategy. The outcome will follow or it won't. But your fear cannot change it. Only your action can. This is the strategy of the void. Empty yourself of attachment. Fill yourself with technique. And when the moment arrives, you won't hesitate. Because there's nothing left to protect. No ego, no fear, just the strike. Now the training. You cannot think your way out of fear. You must train your body to stop producing it. First, the startle response. Most men flinch. A loud noise, a sudden movement, a confrontation. Your body jumps. This is the amygdala hijacking your motor control. You need to desensitize it. Protocol. Expose yourself to controlled discomfort daily. Cold showers. Not warm, then cold. Just cold. Step in. Let your body panic. Then regulate with tactical breathing. 4 seconds in. 2 hold. 6 out. Do this every morning. Your nervous system will adapt. The flinch will soften. Eventually, it disappears. Next, train in unpredictability. Sign up for a combat sport. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Boxing. Muay Thai. Not for self-defense. For nervous system training. Because when someone is trying to choke you, your amygdala screams. But you can't tap out every time you feel fear. You learn to breathe through it, to think while under threat. This transfers to every other area of life. Second protocol. Weaponize silence. Modern men fill every gap with noise. Music, podcasts, conversation. This is fear avoidance. Silence makes you confront your own mind. And most men cannot handle it. Musashi spent years in mountain caves, alone. Not because he was spiritual, because silence reveals weakness. It forces you to sit with discomfort, to observe your thoughts without reacting. You're training. 1 hour of silence per day. No phone, no input, just you. Sit, walk, doesn't matter, but no distraction, no escape. Watch what happens. Your mind will race. Anxiety will surface. Let it. Don't fight it. Observe it. This builds the capacity to stay present under pressure. Third protocol. Master your entrance. Musashi taught that the battle begins before the first strike. How you enter a room telegraphs everything. Weak men scan for approval. They look down. They hunch. They apologize with their posture. Warriors claim space, not aggressively, calmly, shoulders back, chin level, eyes forward. Move deliberately, not fast, not slow, controlled. Practice this, every room you enter. Pause for 1 second before walking in. Take a tactical breath, set your posture, then move. No hesitation, no scanning for reactions. You're not asking permission to exist. You're claiming your position. This alone will cut your social anxiety in half. Fourth protocol: eliminate hedging language. Stop saying, "I think," "maybe," or "kind of." These are fear words. They're verbal flinching. You're protecting yourself from being wrong, from being judged. Musashi never hedged. He declared, "You must do the same. State your position clearly. If you're wrong, you'll find out." But uncertainty destroys authority, and authority kills fear. Final protocol: the stress exposure log. Not a journal, not reflection. A tactical record. Every day, write down one moment where you felt fear or hesitation. Then write exactly what you did. Did you act or freeze? No analysis, no excuses, just data. Over 30 days, you'll see patterns. You'll identify your weak points, and you'll stop repeating them. This isn't therapy, it's reconnaissance. You're mapping your nervous system's failure points so you can fortify them. Do this for 30 days, not as motivation, as training. You're not trying to feel better. You're building a nervous system that doesn't collapse under pressure. Jocko Willink, Navy SEAL commander, faced live combat for years. He describes a concept he calls detachment. In the chaos of a firefight, emotions flood: fear, anger, panic. The soldiers who survive aren't the ones who fight harder. They're the ones who step back mentally, who observe the battlefield while standing in it, who detach from the emotional storm and execute the plan. This is the same principle Musashi used 400 years ago. Different war, same mind. Because fear is timeless. And so is the antidote. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you don't let emotion control your decision-making. Jocko's teams practiced this. They ran drills under stress until their bodies stopped reacting, until calm became automatic. You can do the same, but you have to choose. Most men won't. They'll read this and do nothing. They'll tell themselves they'll start tomorrow. They'll wait for the right moment, for motivation, for permission, and they'll stay weak. Here's your final protocol: the pre-action sequence. Not a mantra, a biological reset. Before any high-pressure situation, you execute this. 1 tactical breath cycle. 4 in, 2 hold, 6 out. Set your gaze forward, not down, through. Then move. No hesitation, no second guessing. Just execution. Do this before every meeting, every conversation, every decision. Make it automatic, because the world doesn't care about your anxiety. Your competition isn't worried about your feelings. The opportunity won't wait for you to feel ready. You either show up sharp or you lose. Musashi understood this at 14 years old. He killed a grown man in his first duel. Not because he was fearless, because he trained the fear out of his system. He built the capacity for ice-cold execution through years of deliberate exposure, through silence, through discomfort, through ritual preparation that hardened his nervous system into a weapon. You have the same capacity, the same nervous system, the same 9-second breath, the same ability to shift your gaze, to detach from outcome, to walk into pressure like it's nothing. But you have to train it, daily, without excuses. This is katana mindset, not a philosophy, a training ground. If you want to continue building this mental armor, subscribe now. Because every video is another drill, another tactic, another edge. This isn't a community, it's an enlistment. And weak men don't survive here. The battlefield is your daily life. The enemy is your untrained nervous system, and the weapon is discipline. Musashi won 60 duels because he mastered himself first. You're losing daily battles because you haven't. That changes today, or it doesn't. Master yourself, or the world will master you.